And for all of you panelists, for us to know, could you tell us how people can find out about your work and how they can support you? And I'll start with you, Ola. Where can people find your work and how can they support you?
They can find it mostly on my social media accounts everywhere: Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, and they also can find it on Peace Environment for Development. It is the civil society organization I lead, and we are working mainly on education and climate change. They can find more there about my work there. They can also support me by many ways, and I'm going here to give messages. First, let's start with donors. Like a lot of projects in Yemen are actually not sustainable. So my message is you can support me, you can support other peace activists, you can support the whole country by having more sustainable projects. Your funds must be, you have to be more wisdom about your funds for the country, because you have been working in Yemen, providing Yemen with billions of dollars of funds every year, but we're not seeing much change. So you have to think again of your mechanism of supporting and funding the country. I'm also going to give a message for other organizations, other channels, other institutes, is that we need our voices to be heard. Mainly, Yemeni young people or women don't have a lot of opportunities for their voices to be heard. So we need these kind of opportunities, which you can provide us. We have to be included, like in such a program like the one with Peace One Day. Another thing is for just a general message for everyone hearing me is that peace is not just, if you're living in a country, a peaceful country, you have to keep that. You have to keep working on peace, even if you already have it, to be sure that you're not going to lose it one day. And for the other young people living in countries of conflict, my message is that believe in peace. It is just the key for you and your children and families to have a better future.
Thank you so much, Ola, and I hope that people come and find you on your social medias, because that is phenomenal work. And I'd love to know from you, Emily, within regards to bikeability, how can people find you and support your work and join in this mission to make that 4 million number keep on rising?
Great, yeah, we'd love you to join our mission. So obviously you can head to our bikeability.org.uk website and our social media channels and hear all about the work that we're doing day in, day out here in England. But we do partner with organisations and countries around the world. So we've got a fantastic cycle education programme that we've rolled out in England. We've also supported other countries to do that. So if you're watching this broadcast from abroad and you're really keen to know how we've done it, we're always keen to connect and to talk and to share our expertise of how you get this started off the ground and then really kind of embed it across society. I think we'd also want to talk about becoming a partner with Peace One Day. We are backing Peace One Day. We absolutely believe genuinely in the mission and the vision that Jeremy and the team have delivered since 1999. And this is not just Peace One Day's mission. This needs to be all of our mission, and partnering and working together is absolutely vital. So we're delighted to be part. Jeremy is someone who has always inspired me and will continue to inspire me. And it's why we will get behind the team, because this is a shared endeavour to work together. And then finally, if we've got anyone out there who's a keen cyclist and wants to kind of support us a little bit more here in England, we do have a fundraising challenge, and we're doing a London to Brighton cycle in June. So if anyone's in England and they fancy coming along, and we've got lots of tips and tricks to come and help, but we'd love you to be part of Team Bikeability to help us achieve our getting more cyclists, children, and cyclists. Delighted to be here and delighted that Bikeability is able to support the brilliant Peace One Day.
Oh, that sounds amazing. And that June challenge, whew, that sounds like it's going to be a long one. And I'd love to go on over to you finally. Can you tell us a little bit more about how people can support your work and what they can do more for Cornerstone?
Thank you. So you can find us on the usual social media challenge. Social media sites, which are a challenge, at cornerstone.org or at cornerstone.org on Twitter and on LinkedIn. I'll say at the moment we are on a exponential growth path that has really been stimulated probably by COVID, as well as I mentioned earlier, with climate change and rising awareness around mental health. So we are looking at new countries that we will potentially expand into over the next 2 to 3 years. So we're interested to hear from particularly NGO partners who are strong on the ground, really know local youth, really know the schools or communities, have strong ties with the government. We have a pretty, I hate to say, but kind of a strict criteria around how we select partners to work with. We're a train-the-trainer model, so we're always in the background. We're not out front and center as Cornerstone working with kids. We're always working through local partners who strongly believe in building local capacities and capabilities, and then moving back as rapidly as possible. So we're always looking for new partners as we expand into new countries, and of course, funders who recognize the importance of well-being work, inner well-being work, mental health, and so on, and how focusing on this work really can have an impact, particularly on girls, in terms of their abilities to advocate for their rights and become strong change agents for peace and transformation in their communities.
And Steve, to stay with you there for a moment, because I know there's so many young people watching, and I'm sure they'd love an insight and some of your advice. If you could say one thing to young people on their journey, whether it's through activism, whether it's through understanding their mental well-being better, anything along those lines, what advice would you give to them, the ones that are watching right now?
I think there's this path that we have to navigate very carefully around, I guess, what I'm going to call inner wealth and inner, let's call it self-cultivation and self-development, and on the other side, social justice work. And they're very, very much interrelated. Oftentimes, these fields don't actually communicate or intersect as well as they really could. So I would really say that I would look at how to become part of something greater than yourself, to interact and intersect with your community, and find ways that you can become an agent for social change. But at the same time, trying to do that or working on yourself so that you can do that from a place of peace, from a place of love and compassion. Because doing that work from a place of anger and violence really just, in the end of the day, from my perspective, perpetuates.
Yeah, no, I think that's a really nice distinction that you make there between the inner work, the activism work, and how the two need to marry each other for everything to work. And I will end with asking both Ola and Emily the same question too. If, for example, Emily, somebody wants to, go on that journey of really, really campaigning for something that they believe in, like how you have been with bike education and cycle education, what advice would you give to a young person who wants to go into that similar space?
Find something that you are massively passionate about, and then surround yourself with people who will support you in that endeavor. So we all do things as humans when we do it together. So finding someone who can help and support you is just massively important to get you on that journey. I also want to say to children as well who are worrying, because we've all talked about the impact of mental health and education and exams and pressure on children. There is so much pressure on children, and schools will constantly tell you that exams are going to define you. No, they don't. Exams are a test that will help someone see how you have done, but they do not define you as a person, and they will not predetermine your entire journey throughout the world. If you'd have said to me at the age of 17, when I didn't get the A-level results that I was expecting, because I was going through a hard time myself personally, I'd be a chief executive of a major children's charity, speaking to people, supportive of a global organization like Peace One Day, I'd have probably fallen over and gone, but I didn't do very well in my exams. Exams don't define you. So don't worry, okay? There is always a path, and your path is your path, and you will find it absolutely with the right people to support you.
I like that. I always teach my students all about working together, teamwork, leaning on others around you, and never having to do anything alone. So that message you've just spoken about really resonates with me. And I'll end with you, Ola. What advice would you give somebody out there who is perhaps also living in a conflict zone as well, or who really wants to begin speaking out about certain things and maybe their community is not so supportive? What advice would you give them?
It's good to focus on your study, career, and life, but it's better to think also of others. Determine some hours to have some voluntary work for others. When you work for others, you will feel how enjoyable it is. It becomes very interesting when you do it, when you see the effect and the impact on the others of your work. It's going to be very interesting. And my second advice is that just do what you think is correct. Forget about the society, forget about the community, forget about the traditions. When you think something you're doing is right, just do it.
Yeah, no, that is wonderful. Thank you so much to all of you for your wonderful contributions for today. A huge thank you to Emily, Ola, and Steve for their engaging discussion. Please, all of you, make sure you go and check out their social media, their websites. They're doing phenomenal work, and the more people that can join them, the better. Thank you all. And for everyone at home who's tuning in, if you're curious about the world of beginning your journeys of activism, we've just heard these amazing words from Steve, from Ola, from Emily. There are so many resources out there to support. And I remember beginning my journey of wanting to advocate for education and the things that I care about through YouTube, and beginning very nervous and scared to first of all look into the camera, talk to people out there who I didn't know, and I wasn't sure if it would work out or not, but I had the wonderful support of my mom, my sister, my friends. And once you say an idea, once you bring out what's in your heart, what you want to do, people start to support you in that. And people do say that if you have an idea, 95% of the time it will be more successful once you have accountability and people guiding you. So I think the words of the people we've just listened to have highlighted that education is important, it's powerful, but it's even more powerful when we all join together. So thank you once again, Ola, Steve, and Emily.